Hi out there. Thanks for watching BCTV. And I'm Joann, and this is Jim. We come to you on behalf of Senior Solutions. So thanks for tuning in to watch Keeping Up with Senior Solutions. And today we have a very special guest. We have Maggie Lewis, who is the executive director of The Gathering Place, which is an adult daycare facility in Brattleboro. So I'm not going to say too much. We have lots of questions, and Maggie has a ton of answers. Jim?
We hope. Right? No, we know. I guess I would start, Maggie, by asking you, I think that's a really neat name, The Gathering Place.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
So I believe back in the day, initially it was called the Brattleboro Area Adult Day Services, which is our legal name. But The Gathering Place is a more inclusive name.
Yes.
And I think it really fits for the services that we provide. Sorry about the phone in the background.
And it's not such a mouthful.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
I know, right, if you have to give the whole legal name, people get like distracted and they go like, who was that?
Right.
So,
exactly.
and I'm really happy that you're here today, Maggie.
Oh, thanks.
Because
the other thing is, The Gathering Place also, when you say Brattleboro Adult Day Services, it sounds like it's just for people in Brattleboro.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually serve most of Windham County. So we also serve New Hampshire and Massachusetts on those bordering towns. So our service area is much larger than Brattleboro itself.
That's an important distinction,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you are really the adult day center for Windham County and, like you said, several other adjacent areas.
Mm-hmm. I'd
So
like to say the premier adult day service in
okay,
Windham County.
I think that's neat.
Very nice, very nice.
Before we get in depth to things, I want to know your background. How did you get into this business? Because this is, yes, it's such an important impact on the community. How did you decide to spend time doing that?
So great question. I'm originally from Massachusetts. I'm a Flatlander. And I came up here initially after working at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute, working in quality improvement and risk management, to work at Grace Cottage, small rural hospital. And I did quality improvement, risk management, and then had the opportunity to be the long-term care administrator, as well as the assistant hospital administrator at Grace Cottage. And that gave me the opportunity to learn more about gerontology, people with disabilities, people with developmental delays, just a more comprehensive and broader perspective on patients and community. And that was a great opportunity. And from there, I worked at a couple of nursing homes as nursing home administrator, and then had a focus at the Alzheimer's Association, which I was with for 8 years. So I have a very strong background in Alzheimer's and related dementias. And I saw this opportunity come up for The Gathering Place. And I thought, wow, this is right in my backyard. It is a great facility with a great reputation and provides a service that is important to what I believe in, which is community-based home services, so that people can stay in their communities and still be part of their families and part of their community. So if we can help support that, I'm all for it.
Well, I think we're for that too.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds
Yes.
great.
Very good. Yeah. So getting started, we want to make sure that we give you the opportunity to state what is your website address.
So our website is www.gatheringplacevt.org.
Great. And going through your website, I found it extremely accessible
Oh, great.
and very comprehensive in all of the different services that you're able to provide to the people who attend.
Mhm.
So if people check out the website, are you still offering tours to prospective clients?
Absolutely. So it's interesting now that the state of emergency is pretty much over as of the 11th. We definitely invite people to call and schedule a tour if they would like. If they're interested in enrolling themselves or a loved one, they can again call and initiate that process, or soon on our website, probably even by the end of today, we will have an online enrollment form that people can simply put their name, contact information, a little message, and then we'll turn around and reach out to people and get back to them and
Nice.
set something up for them to come and visit or answer questions that they may have.
That's excellent. That's great.
Yeah.
And what was that phone number that you were offering?
No, it's if people, they can put their phone number in so that we can
Okay.
call.
Okay,
But if
good.
people want to call us directly, they can call our main line at 802-254-6559.
Thank you. That's great. That's great. Thank you. Now, what were you going to ask,
I
Jim?
was gonna add, you know, I looked through some of the information and I was very impressed with the way it looks like you have individualized your program. Could you explain how you go about that? It seems so complex, but probably is simple in a way.
So that's a great question, and I'm so glad that you asked it. So we have what we call a person-centered model, so that any person that comes here to receive our services, we meet them where they're at. What are their individual needs? What are their goals? And how can we help them achieve those? Now, it's interesting because we live in such a rural area. We have a very diverse population that we serve. So we can have people who are 18 years old or older to come here, and we serve people who have they have disabilities, like I said, chronic illness, persons with dementia, people who need companionship and support, and people who have developmental delays. So there's really a real diverse population that comes here. And then our programming, we have such a strong leader in our programming department that we are able to provide programming that can meet each person where they're at. And
Right.
we have options. So if a person doesn't want to take part in one program, we have something else that can engage the person if they choose. And we also have space where people can just kick back and relax. If they don't want to hear the noise, they don't want to participate, they just want to sit back, relax, maybe read the paper, we have that as well. So I'll have to say it is complex because of the diversity, not only in the individuals, but also in the different areas of people that we serve. But fortunately, we have a strong program director, and we also have a strong program supervisor, and our staff is amazing. Each one of them brings a special skill set in, and the combination really just provides what I call an ideal situation to provide that person-centered care to the people that participate here.
That is so lovely, because you're right. You really have, in order to really help people and really support people, you can't apply a one-size-fits-all treatment or
Correct.
service. And the people that come to the gathering place know that they are going to be treated as individuals who are important. And no matter if you have a cognitive delay or if you're early stage dementia or Alzheimer's, you're going to get a program that's going to meet your needs.
Right.
And not every place does that.
That's true. And the other thing is, as people progress through a disease process, we will help support them through that. So We help maintain, we help people improve. And for those who have diagnoses that, there will be a progressive decline, we will continue to meet them where they're at.
It seems to me, though, that takes a great deal of time and you folks assessing where people are at. How
Correct.
is that process work?
So we have, of course, if anything comes up on a daily basis, we address it. Monthly, we look over each individual's program and the goals that they've set and how they've progressed in those goals. And then every 6 months, we look at a full assessment of the person to make sure that clinically, we have as much information as possible. And then annually, we also do a full assessment. So we constantly have eyes on individuals and we're constantly assessing. So if there's any change, it's addressed immediately. But if we don't see a significant change, we do stop and take the time, at least monthly, to look at the person, see if they want to change their goals, if they've met their goals, and we work with the individuals and their families. So
Another thing I was impressed with, being an ex-educator and a principal of a high school, and was the fact that you talk about lifelong learning. And I don't think a lot of areas that are working with people look at that principle of life. You think at a certain age you stop learning. Well, that's not the case. So how do you go about that?
So, Jim, you've got some great questions. So how we do that is we bring guest speakers in. And so I'll give you 2 examples. Recently, we had a day that was focused on Africa. So we had a soup recipe that all the participants, helped make this soup, cutting vegetables, etc., so that they could have this soup with their lunch. And then we had a guest speaker come in and provide not only a slideshow, but an educational presentation about Africa and questions and answers. And it was great. It was actually, it was awesome. And then we also had recently someone come in who had an interest in geology and rock formation and brought in multiple samples of different rocks, gems, etc., and talked about not only our land formation in Vermont, but these different types of stones and their value, when you can find them, why people cherish certain things, why certain stones form the way they do. And again, opened it up for Q&A. And for some people, it was a tactile thing for them. That's what they got out of it. The next person, may have got a little bit out of the educational piece. And then the next person may have dove into some different books that we had available on the topic to further their research. So we do have long-term educational programs, and they're pretty exciting. I catch myself finding a way out of my office so I can go down and participate because I love that kind of stuff.
Do they have the opportunity to sometimes go on, say, a field trip or what have you outside of the building?
Well, Senior Solutions has provided us with a grant that gave us the opportunity to have some field trips, which we are so grateful for. Most recently, we went to, I think it's called like the Magic Butterfly place down in
below Greenfield.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, we had such a great time. It was amazing. And an interesting point is for us, when we look at our participants, there was one participant that really wanted to go, but unfortunately, due to certain circumstances, wasn't going to be able to unless they met some certain goals, because we wouldn't have been able to support during the trip their clinical needs. And that person worked and worked and worked and met the goal
Wow.
and really had life-changing event through this.
Oh, that is
It was just,
amazing.
it was fantastic. Just using this one person as an example really made some life-altering and joyful moments for them. And yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about it, but we had a fantastic time.
Oh, I can see it happening. I can see the sensory interaction with the people that are there. It's amazing. I've taken my granddaughters there, and I am telling you, it was just a wonderful experience.
Yes, that's great. That's
And
great.
the
Yeah.
fact
So we
that-
have future trips that we're looking into right now. So we're excited about that.
Well, keep us informed.
Oh, yeah.
And besides that, the way that you're doing your approach to learning, the multi-sensory, integration, the holistic approach,
Right.
that's what makes it so special. You're not just talking to people and
Mhm.
telling them about things, you're letting them experience some of it for themselves. And that makes such a big impact.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you, Joann.
This is exciting. Yeah. Now, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
The people that are listening to this program are
Yes.
definitely going to want to learn more about the gathering place. How do insurances cover some of the cost of participating?
So for us, Medicaid covers coming to the gathering place. Some people private pay. There are grants that can be accessed through Senior Solutions. There are grants through Parkinson's Association and other areas that we can help direct families to. That can help pay for coming to the gathering place. And then some people have long-term care insurance. And what happens in that case is a person will come to the gathering place and pay fee for service. And then we'll provide them with the documentation that they can then get reimbursed by their long-term care insurance.
That's terrific. Terrific.
Yeah.
Because that is, for a lot of people in Vermont, that's a big issue.
Agreed.
So that's great.
I had a question about how do you provide, and I saw this on your website, a dementia-friendly environment? What does that really mean?
So let me give you some examples of this. We have in our rooms acoustic paneling to help with kind of dulling the bouncing around of noise. Now, people with dementia have some deficits in sensory integration. So it's really important to have the opportunity, one, either to have quiet space, to have space that doesn't have that reverberation of sound. We also look at the colors that we painted our walls so that in different areas, we have different colors such that a blue is a more calming color. So we have that in some of our spaces where people would relax or enjoy their time, like in the cafe. But yet in our art room, we have a green, which is stimulates the brain to want to interact. And we also have a yellow in our game room, again, a color that stimulates rather than calms. So people can hopefully feel the energy off that color and participate more wholly and fully in those activities in those different areas. The other thing is we are going to be adapting our lighting. We just got a grant from Efficiency Vermont and also some help from Senior Solutions for our lighting so that in areas we can look at what kind of lighting we're using. Are we using a blue cool light? Are we using a yellow orange light for calming? And we've had an assessment done so that when we change over our lighting to LED, we'll be able to adapt our lighting in our different areas also to help support individuals who have sensory integration dysfunctions. So yeah.
That's ingenious.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. So we really try to have our environment conducive to the people that come here. Yeah.
Great. Great. What I really find exciting is that so much thought and creativity has gone into all the programming and physical environment that you're providing. That's great.
Thank you. Thank you. We've
Yeah.
worked really hard at that. We actually took the opportunity when we had to close during COVID to make a lot of these changes. You know, you always have them in the back of your mind. When can we do this? When can we do this? And it was like, let's do it now. Building's empty. Let's get this stuff done. So yeah, we were really excited to, when we reopened, to share this great environment with people. So it is exciting.
Super. That's great. Unbelievable. That's great.
Thanks.
You want to talk about the therapeutic?
Well, I was going to ask about this. I think it kind of intrigued me a little bit.
Mhm.
Could you give me an example of a therapeutic activity?
Sure. So let's talk, I'm going to give an example of motor skills.
Good.
So fine motor skills, gross motor skills. Some people have deficits in those areas, so that we would provide an activity. Maybe I'm going to use beading as an example. Some people may not have the dexterity in their fingers and need to either challenge themselves to re-engage that ability, or have an activity that's adapted to meet them where they're at. So we have different size beads, and we encourage people to, you know, when it comes to making jewelry, let's say, who can use what beads, what type of string, what works best for them, and how can we get that movement in the hands going so that there's more dexterity. And again, we meet them where they're at. So that would be an example of a therapeutic activity.
Good. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. We also tap into that spiritual side of people as well. And we do have someone come in at least once a month and provide the opportunity for mindfulness and the opportunity to reflect. And we find that to be therapeutic as well for individuals.
Maggie, what about the impact of music?
So music, oh boy. So if you go on to our website and you look at our activity calendar, we have music that fills the month. We have so many opportunities between ukuleles, pianos, singers, creating your own music, participating in the music rather than being a passive listener. We have a lot of music. And we find that with persons with dementia, if you have music that has a certain cadence, people love to dance, people remember songs, so they're singing. So this music is just great. It infuses the building with, you know, joy, wonderful moments, and again, meets everybody where they're at. Thank you for asking that. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds terrific. I
It
feel like
is. I wish,
signing.
you know, sometimes
feel
I'm
like
like, oh man, I have to look at my computer, but I could go downstairs and there's X, Y, and Z going on, or right
Yeah.
outside my door, there's like this great, you know, art project. There's, you know, they're doing oil paintings on canvas, and it's, yeah.
How in the world do you get anything done? You're
Yeah, I
a lot of
know.
but it's all good distractions.
Oh yeah, it's great.
For sure.
It
And
is.
it's nice that you're right there and you can pop out of your office at any time and see what's going on.
Oh,
and
I
enjoy it.
do.
Yeah.
I do.
And make your observations, etc. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what there was something else I was going to ask you. Oh yeah, let's talk food.
I love food. I love food. So we provide a buffet breakfast from I think it's 8 until 9:30, and people can come in and we have like oatmeal, eggs, toast, fruit, milk, coffee, tea, and people come and self-serve, or if they need assistance, we'll assist and just chat and get their day started off with one another. It's really nice. The staff gets to sit down and you know, chat and have their cup of coffee as well. It's really
It sounds very friendly.
yeah, it's a great way to start your day off and reconnect after having your night away. And then we offer a really nutritious and it's actually really good food, really tasty food. It's not only nutritious, it's tasty, it's delicious at noontime. And we also accommodate people's needs when it comes to food. So some people may have allergies, so we'll adjust the menu, their menu, so that they can have foods that they can eat. And then some people need food of different texture. Maybe they need their food cut into smaller pieces. Maybe they need their food pureed. So we'll adapt so that everyone can enjoy in that, nutritious and delicious lunch.
Mm.
And then in the afternoon, we have a snack. So yeah.
Sounds really great.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
by the
and
way,
after lunch, we have like a bit of a coffee hour too, or coffee half hour, whatever people want. We have coffee out after lunch so people can sit and mingle and digest before moving into more activities.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm just so impressed with the creativity that you've established. I mean, that is a key to, I think, a lot of your success there.
Mhm.
It's just amazing that some people can think outside the box, and that's so important.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
is definitely not a babysitting
Oh,
facility.
no.
This
It's
is
an adult day service. We're providing
absolutely.
service and programming. The other thing that sometimes gets lost is that the families that are supporting these individuals at home, Adult Day provides them with respite. It
Mhm.
gives them the opportunity to either rest and rejuvenate or go to work, maybe get some errands done. It gives them the opportunity to focus on self so that, it's one of those work on the inner circle and then out. So it gives them time to, like I said, rejuvenate, do what they need to do while their person is well cared for. So,
And Maggie, doesn't it help the family caregiver reconnect to their community?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Yep.
they're not so isolated either.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah.
So true.
That's wonderful.
Right.
And for the convenience of the families and the caregivers, we also provide transportation to those who live in Vermont, door-to-door service with the assistance of the mover.
Nice.
So we can coordinate that as well, if that's
How
a
much
challenge for
advance
families.
How much advance notice would you or the mover need to accommodate that?
48 hours.
Okay, and that's
Yep.
important for the family caregivers to know
Mhm.
that yes, you can provide it, but you can't make a phone call and expect the mover to show up 20 minutes later.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
good.
Good.
But it's a wonderful service to be
Mhm.
coordinating that. That's great.
Absolutely.
And I noticed when I was at the facility, you have like a Hoyer lift, you have all
Mhm.
kinds of specialized equipment,
Mhm.
and you have a nurse, you have a really professional staff.
Mhm. We do. We have a therapy room where if individuals have physical therapy, occupational therapy needs, we can help support those in that therapy room. Also, if a person needs a two-person assist with dressing, bathing, etc., we have the equipment to do that, and the staff is trained on how to do that, and they have private space to do that. Also, if someone starts to feel ill or unwell while they're here, we can isolate that person in the therapy room until we can reach out to the family or the appropriate medical teams.
Excellent. Boy, is there anything you don't do?
Helicopter rides.
Oh, okay, all right.
There's just no
Maybe
place to
that'll be
land.
next.
Yeah,
There's just no place to land. Otherwise, yeah.
this is wonderful. Oh my gosh.
Oh, actually, and talking
Yes.
about that, outdoor space. We don't spend all of our time indoors.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so we have a deck outside that has an awning over it. We also have raised flower beds, and some are raised to wheelchair height, some are raised to standing height, so that everybody can participate in gardening. We also have, the gate is also locked so that if someone who wanders, we can, like if they decide to go for a little walk, we'll be along to that. So
Good.
yeah, we also go for walks around the neighborhood and over to the common. So yeah, so we're out and about.
Yes, yeah.
Very impressed.
I don't know, but if I reach the point where I need some more care than I have now, I'm definitely signing up.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
So I really encourage anybody who is caring for a loved one with some kind of a cognitive issues, get in touch with the Gathering Place down in Brattleboro. Take a look, see what you can find out about your Medicaid or ability to get grants or other insurance coverage. Scope it out, because not only will it help your loved one be somewhere safe, secure, cared for, and not condescended to, but engaged with everyone. And you'll have a better night's sleep, knowing that your loved one is being cared for in a wonderfully supportive environment.
Yeah.
Maggie, thank you so much.
You are very welcome. And if I could also just share real quick,
Sure.
we're open Monday through Friday, 9 hours a day. So it gives people the opportunity to have a full day. And also not only focusing on the persons with cognitive impairment, people who want a sense of community, whoever they are, come to the Gathering Place. We are very welcoming, and we really develop our friendships here, and it's just a great place to be. And we always say that everyone deserves to have a wonderful day, and we can provide that at the Gathering Place.
Do you have a group of volunteers that participate?
So we do have volunteers who come in and do the music and things of that nature. And now that the mask situation for COVID is coming down, and we're building our census, or the number of people that come here, we're now beginning to have volunteers come in. We were limited in that for a while, but now we're opening that up. So if anybody's interested in volunteering, please reach out, 254-6559.
Well done, well done. Lovely. I'm sure there's more we could talk about, but we've covered a lot of territory.
Yeah.
And the reason we covered a lot of territory is because you do an awfully lot.
Right.
So
We do.
congratulations to being reopened after the COVID shutdown. And we wish you a lot of success with more people coming in and benefiting by your services.
Thank you.
So,
and I do want to give a shout out and a thanks to Senior Solutions, because you have been very supportive during this time, and we are very grateful for that.
well, we try to help. And thanks to
Right.
the extra money that we got from the COVID experience, and that made it possible for us to reach out to our community partners.
Yeah,
Because the more hands that are helping the aging population or those
Exactly.
who need help, the better off we all are.
exactly.
Thank
Couldn't
you
have said it
very
better.
much, Maggie.
You're
Thank you very
welcome.
much.
Thank you both very much. Take
Right.
care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.